Hi everyone, it's Colleen Belia on the Alex Syberia Designs YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be playing with die cuts using the Trendy Botanicals die set, and I'm also going to be playing with some fun backgrounds, a mixed media background. We'll be using the heart collage die as a stencil, and we're going to have some fun with color and layering. So let's get started. So this is the Trendy Botanicals die set. This is a new release from Alex Syberia Designs February release. And this is a card I had made using them. And you can see there's a whole lot going on with this card panel. The background is really vibrant. You can see the heart collage die set in the background and very colorful die cut flowers. It was really a lot of fun to create this. And here is what the dies look like. I really appreciate that these are simple to put together. You can see all the detail in the dies, the etching that's in them that adds a lot of interest to them. The layering is pretty simple. It's usually 2, maybe 3 steps to it, but it's a great die and there's a lot of versatility to that. This is what the heart collage die looks like. It's a die cover plate, but today we're going to use this as a stencil. And I'm going to show you how. So you can find different ways to use your dies other than just its intention. We're also going to use this thanks die from the Thanks and Hugs die. So let's start putting our card together. So I started with this background panel. I created this a few days ago with some spray inks. I just wanted some vibrant colors for spring. So I created some backgrounds with some spray inks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this heart collage die right over the top of that, and I'm going to use it as a stencil. Now, I'm being pretty lazy here. I'm just taking the die, using it as a stencil, and then I'll clean it off after I'm done. You could create your own stencil and use it permanently by die cutting this on a piece of cardstock or a thinner piece of paper and just set it aside and use it as a stencil. But I am using the die cut itself, and I'm using this Cloud 9 this ink. It's really shimmery and pretty. It's a pigment / dye ink, and it's very vibrant and pretty. And I believe that it's also water reactive. So I'm just using that, and I'm actually pouncing color through the die, as you can see. Not really caring about being very detailed and perfect with it, because this is a mixed media background and I want it to look like a mixed media background, which is imperfect. So you can see that I have finished this die already, this background, and it's really pretty. But now I'm going to add some blobs of water over the top to get a reaction to the background. And what'll happen is that you'll have water spots on there, and I love that look because it just adds more interest to the background. So while I'm letting it sit there just a second, that water, I'm cleaning off my glass media mat, and now I'm going to take a paper towel, go right over the top and lift the water and the ink. See how you can see that ink come right off the paper towel? And look at the look that you get. Oh, I absolutely love that. So now my background is done, and I'm going to die cut the background, and you'll see what I'm going to do in just a second. So I've finished die cutting it. So now I have 2 pieces here. I also die cut a 3rd piece of black cardstock using the Alex Syberia Designs scalloped edge nesting dies, and I'm going to adhere everything together. What I really like about this look is that black scalloped piece of cardstock kind of frames everything together and just adds some interest and some intensity to it. So I really wanted to create that look. So now I'm just going to adhere everything to 5x5 by 4 1/4 card base. And then I'm going to be ready to work on adding the botanical flowers to my background. Now this is a very busy background, but you're going to see how the flowers really complement that. So I've die cut the flowers using black cardstock on the side, and I'm putting everything out on the table so I can start putting them together. Before I adhere the layers together, I want to spray the top layers just to add a little bit of a distinction between the base layer and the second layer. So I have my handy little box that I use when I'm working with my sprays and I don't want to get spray all over the place. I use this box. So I'm putting only the second layers of my botanicals in there, and then I'm going to spray it with a shimmer spray, just kind of a clear shimmer spray, but you're going to see the effect that it gets. And now that I've sprayed it and I've dried it, I'm going to adhere the layers, and I'm going to let you see how I adhere these layers because I want you to see how easy it is to put these together. Sometimes for me, when I'm working with die cuts, if they're too intricate, I get really frustrated and I want to quit. If the pieces are too small and they're really hard to work with, I get frustrated. But I feel like this set is perfect because they're bold, their layering is easy, and you can use them in a variety of ways. So you can see how easily this is coming together, and you can already see the shimmer and shine from the second layer where I sprayed it with that shimmer spray. And you could spray it with a different color if you wanted as well. You know, the sky's the limit as to what you want to do with this. I wanted this to stay black with just that hint of shimmer, so I used more of a translucent spray for this. So I'm almost finished putting all my flowers together and leaves, and then I'm going to show you a little close-up of what it looks like with the shimmer on the second layers. So pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love it. So now that I have all my layers put together, now I'm ready to put everything together on my card base that I created earlier. Here is the 2-layer thanks die that I had die cut on the side using a piece of black cardstock. And then I had a like a white, kind of a shimmery piece of cardstock, so I used that for the second layer of the thanks die. And what I'm doing here is I'm staging everything on my card panel before I adhere it down. And I stage it on purpose because I want to be sure everything is in the right spot before I glue it down. And then I use a liquid glue when I do adhere it down because the liquid glue gives me wiggle room to move things around to get them into the perfect spot. So that's just the method to my madness when I'm adhering flowers and botanicals like this down to make sure they go right where I want them. And you can see how wonderfully this is coming together. The black flowers really complement the black framing, and you can still see the vibrancy of that background with a heart collage die on there. So you're really using quite a few products on this one card. And that's the whole purpose of my showing you this today, is so that you can see there are many ways that you can use these products and get a lot out of your stash. So I'm almost finished with this card. All that's left is to add the sentiment, and then this is done. And then I'm going to show you this card compared to the original card so that you can see how different they are and how fun it is to just play with different colors and different layouts. I love how this turned out, and I love how it's so polar opposite from the other card panel. I hope you learned a lot from me today. Thanks for coming by.